First thing this morning, I learned of the death of a friend of mine of about 30 years, who was a very good man, godly man. He's somebody that I looked up to as a follower of Christ. I've spent a lot of time with him as a friend, but also times of praying together, and somebody that I admired and looked up to. And he was about the third such person this calendar year, who has passed away. And when that happens, we'll often quote Matthew 25 verses 21 and 23, which say, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You've been faithful with a few things. I'll now make you ruler over many things. Come now, enter the joy of thy Lord." And that's a parable of the talents. And it's a parable about a man who was traveling in a far-off country, and he left talents, which was a form of currency, with three of his servants. One servant, he left 5 talents. The other servant, he left 2 talents. And the third servant, he left 1 talent. And talents were a decent amount of money in that time, equivalent to a lot of money today as well. But the point is not the amount, but the fact that the first 2 servants essentially invested and doubled the value of what they were left, and the third servant didn't. He actually buried his, and whatever his intentions were. But the master, when he returned, he said to the first 2 servants, "Well done, good and faithful servant." Where the third one, he basically called him wicked and lazy. But it's gotten me thinking about that, because we often talk about that when someone passes away that we know love the Lord. And it makes me realize and remember that God values our faithfulness, even in small things. Even in things that we might not think are super significant, or others might not think so. God values our faithfulness in those things. And as we go throughout our life, we're going to have a lot of opportunities to be faithful or to not be faithful over things that God gives us and puts in our life. Some things might be a lot more significant than others, a lot more valuable than others. But how we are in terms of our faithfulness, God will see those things. God will reward or not reward those things. So it's really gotten me thinking, knowing that multiple people now this year that I have memories with, good memories of people that I knew very well and really looked up to, and now they're with the Lord, as I will be someday. And it makes me reevaluate how I live my life day to day, even in the mundane stuff, even in the challenging stuff, even in the hard times, or even in the real good times. How am I doing in terms of being faithful with what He has given me? If you're anything like me, you might have a lot of regrets about how you've handled certain things. You might have some areas that you're proud of how you handled it, or at least you feel like you've done okay with those things. But each day we have new opportunities, and so that's what I have been thinking about today is are we going to hear, "Well done, good and faithful servant," when we get to heaven with what we've been given. So just wanted to share that today. And I'm hoping that we don't have any more deaths in our immediate circle here in the near future. We've had too many this year already. So, but anyhow, it's gotten me thinking, because these are all men that I believe with all my heart that they're hearing, "Well done, good and faithful servant," from Jesus. So have a great rest of the day. Hope that speaks to you at all. And we'll talk to you later. Bible on the road.